Hello and welcome to Woodfired Weekly at Manna from Devon Cooking School. This week we are going to be cooking a classic oxtail stew. And oxtail, if you haven't come across it before, is exactly what it says. It's the tail of an ox and it needs to be cooked very, very slowly. This is the perfect candidate for an overnight braise when you've been using the oven and you've got lots of heat left in the oven. Particularly good for a refractory oven where you've got all of that retained heat and you want to make the most of it and not let it go to waste. Don't worry too much about the recipe. As long as you've got some oxtails, you can make an oxtail stew. We've got some leeks here. These could be onions. We've got some carrots. They could be beetroot. We've got some celery. It could be fennel. We've got some thyme. It could be rosemary, and so on and so on. We could spice this up and give it an Indian kind of a feel. We could do all sorts of things. Don't worry too much about that. It's a cold stew, so we're just going to mix everything up, bung it in a pot, put it in the oven, forget about it until tomorrow. So we've got a nice heavy pot here, a sort of cast iron pot of some sort. We're using a Morso. Once that's heated up, it's going to hold that heat, distribute the heat beautifully, and everything else basically just gets thrown in the pot. So we're going to dust our oxtails with flour, lots of black pepper. I like lots of black pepper in here, and salt, and just get that all nice and coated. And that's going to basically thicken up the sauce, and we'll come back and everything is kind of done and ready and we don't have to do anything else to it. And then everything kind of goes in here. So in with that, and then we're going to arrange these in no particular fashion in there. Hopefully we've picked the right size pot so that we can just get the lid on. It's like I almost measured it all before. Perfect. Perfect. And now we're going to go in with some liquids. So let's go with half a tin of tomatoes, a nice big old glass of wine, and in with some stock. In this case we've got some chicken stock because we make a lot of chicken stock, and we've always got some in the fridge, but if you had some beef stock that would be ideal. Spot on. Nothing's going to come out, everything's going to stay in there. It's going to cook nice and quietly. All the connective tissues are going to break down, and by tomorrow morning the meat will be falling off the bone. Good morning. Our oxtail has been in the oven now for about 17 hours, and during that time it will have started nice and warm. It will have come up to a simmer, simmered away for a couple of hours, and then as the oven falls in temperature it just reduces to a very slow simmer, and by now there will be just a little bit of heat left in the oven. It'll still be warm, but it won't be doing much. It won't be bubbling, but it'll still be just steaming away, and that length of time is perfect to melt away the collagen in oxtails and shoulders and things which do lots and lots of work. Let's have a look. That pan is still hot. I do still need the gloves to pick that up, and you can see it's still steaming away there. And in the pan, this meat is nice and dark on top. It's got a nice sort of crust there, but if I break into it, it just falls away from the bone, and we've got this lovely soft meat inside. And if we have a look underneath here, you'll remember that we did put in carrots and celery and leeks, and they're all just really lovely and soft and well cooked. And if I pick up one of those bones, you'll see it comes out perfectly clean. So that's our overnight oxtail stew. Beautiful traditional dish for slow cooking. We'll provide the recipe on our blog and put a link down below for that. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and we'll see you next time.